Good evening, dear viewers, and first of all, thank you, truly. I do appreciate you joining me for these occasional moments of civilized geopolitical disappointment. You see, this is not a daily program. Heaven forbid, I'm British, not a machine. No, I emerge only when world events become sufficiently absurd to require commentary, which unfortunately means I shall probably be seeing quite a lot of you. And between ourselves, let's not mention this little arrangement too loudly to the others at the club. Buck would immediately demand equal airtime, Dmitri would accuse me of spreading Western propaganda, and Lucas would somehow convert the entire thing into a 47-page Swiss risk assessment with color-coded graphs. So for now, this remains our small British corner of dignified disappointment, rather like the last functioning armchair in the Empire. Marvellous. Anyway, once again, the Middle East is doing what it does best, reminding the global economy that peace is apparently a temporary administrative condition. Missiles near the Strait of Hormuz, tankers receiving warnings, oil markets behaving like frightened aristocrats at a tax inquiry. Honestly, crude oil now appears to have more emotional instability than most political leaders. America wishes to demonstrate strength. Iran wishes to demonstrate leverage. And the rest of humanity receives inflation, expensive petrol, and another collective migraine. One does quietly wonder whether anyone involved has considered that repeatedly threatening one another inside heavily armed shipping lanes may not represent ideal long-term planning. But apparently not. Humanity remains deeply committed to learning absolutely nothing from history. At this point, global stability seems to depend almost entirely on exhausted diplomats and industrial quantities of caffeine. Meanwhile, back in Britain, we are once again attempting to survive what the Met Office politely describes as unseasonably warm weather, which in British terms means people removing jackets with visible emotional distress. 29 degrees in May in Britain, a nation historically engineered for fog, tea, damp carpets, and manageable disappointment. You know civilization is wobbling slightly when British people begin discussing air conditioning with genuine emotional vulnerability. Half the country still insists, well, it only gets hot for a few days. Yes, Gerald. And every year those few days now feel increasingly sponsored by climate change itself. Train delays, supermarkets mysteriously selling out of fans, and somewhere in government, a man named Oliver is almost certainly assuring the public that everything remains fully under control, which historically is among the least reassuring phrases in the English language. Still, one carries on. That is the British specialty after all. Quiet endurance, while the world gently catches fire around us. Tea first, mild panic later. Anyway, dear viewers, do take care out there, won't you? Stay cool if possible, drink water, avoid wars where convenient. And remember, panic is usually best left to governments and financial analysts. This has been Sir Reginald Hawthorne, trying very hard not to sigh too loudly. And do try not to trigger any international incidents before breakfast. Cheerio.